Good evening and welcome back to the show. We are so glad to have you back with us. I have some exciting guests for you this evening. We're going to start with transportation. We'll end up with Great Basin College. But first we're going to talk about transportation because I have Eric Whelan. He's the supervisor of transportation, and we're going to talk about a lot of things there. For session 2, I'm going to have the chairwoman of the Transportation Committee. And so we'll have a lot more information that we'll be discussing at that time. But first, I want to introduce Eric Whelan, Supervisor of Transportation. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom, and I'm glad to be here.
I am so glad to have you here this evening. I know our audience is so interested in having and knowing so much about transportation. And when I think back at all the difficulty we had in getting it established, it was so good to have you as part of the team. So I am just so glad to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
But let's start talking about transportation. How did it happen in Pahrump, and about when did it happen in Pahrump? I know some of our audience, they're probably new and don't know the history of what's been going on.
Community leaders, county commissioners, several people tried starting a public transportation system for Pahrump. And basically the only obstacle they encountered was proper funding. 3 years ago, under the umbrella of the Pahrump Senior Center, Pahrump Valley Public Transportation was able to start transportation for everyone in the entire town. We already had a good rapport with Nevada Department of Transportation. That allowed us to secure the grant, and we moved on from there, and it's been nearly 3 years now of operations.
When you say secured the grant, what kind of grant are you talking about, and what kind of funding are you talking about? Was that the holdup for having transportation?
Yes, and with most grants, it's called a 5311 grant. It's through NDOT. It's designated strictly for public transportation. And typically grants require a certain match amount, a local match amount. Say you are wanting to get a grant for $300,000, your portion would be roughly $100,000.
Okay.
That match amount was what was holding the whole thing up.
Okay. Now you mentioned too the senior center. The senior center, I think that's where it started. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how did it expand from the senior center to what we have today?
We just saw. That's when I took over the transportation department at the senior center in 2017, and it was just obvious the need for public transportation other than just seniors was a necessity in this town. So we just applied for the grant, rewrote the grant entirely so we can include everything, not just the seniors. And we got the ball rolling, and we were able to launch in February of 2018.
So February of 2018, and it probably started at least, well, I think we said about 10 years before that, where the groundwork was started by some of our former commissioners and a lot of people in the community. They were putting their heads together to say, how can we make this happen? And there were a lot of roadblocks. I'm sure you remember all the roadblocks that we ran into.
Yeah, and one of the things that was advantageous for us running under the Pahrump Senior Center umbrella is we already had an existing platform to work from.
Oh, okay.
Everything was already in place, a drug and alcohol program, driver education, driver training, everything else was already in place, so it was easy to expand, upon that existing platform to develop into a fully functioning public transportation system.
Okay, now I know I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, but people are going to have a lot of questions. I always tell people to write down all the information that we're talking about, but while they're listening, sometimes it's difficult to be writing down everything. So if they needed to contact you or Michelle later, and Michelle's going to be on in our next session, but if they wanted to contact you to find out more about transportation, what happened, how it's going, or just have questions, what number can they call?
Our telephone number at our office is 775-751-6860.
Repeat that again, please.
775-751-6860.
Okay, and that's going to be on the screen for them to write down. And again, this is Eric Whelan. He's the supervisor of transportation, and he's the one that you're probably going to talk to, or someone in his office, and they can provide you with any information that you need. Again, we're going to jump back because we want to go back and talk about the senior center, and that's where it all originated. They were having transportation merely for seniors. What is the transportation for now?
Are you referring to Pahrump Valley Public Transportation?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Pahrump Valley
Public Transportation.
Public Transportation.
Yes. We cater to anybody and everybody in the community. No guidelines. We are a fare-based system. It is $3 per trip. So say you wanted to go to the store and back, it would be a $6 round trip.
Okay.
We do not have limitations on mileage or anything like that. We do ask that you schedule your appointments 2 days in advance so that we can get you on the books, because we are quite busy, and especially with COVID right now, we are trying to keep the social distancing in place and everything.
Okay.
Our hours of operation are from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay. So six days a week. And if somebody calls and they need transportation, where do they catch the transportation?
The bus comes straight to your house, the bus or van, whichever is available, whichever you require. We have 7 wheelchair accessible vehicles. It is a curb-to-curb service. We will come straight to your house.
Curb to curb. So you pick them up at their house?
Yes.
Take them where they're going, and pick them up from where they were and bring them back to their house?
Yes.
And you do that for $3 per trip?
Yes.
This is fantastic. When we think back, and I used to see people walking in 110-degree weather, walking down the side of the highway with grocery bags, and this is something we don't have to see anymore.
Yeah, and that was our goal when we started the public transportation, is to alleviate that situation and to provide safe, reliable, affordable transportation for everybody in the community.
Now, I want to pick on you just for a second and say, suppose there's a student. Does student have to pay $3 as well?
Student fare is $2 with a student ID.
Okay, so students, you hear that? $2 each way with the student ID. Any other category of people that you have special fares for?
Children under 12 ride for free, and they will be, they ride for free, but they must have a parent with them.
Okay. Any other groups? For the seniors?
Seniors, we still transport seniors, but if the seniors want to go strictly on a senior bus, they are more than welcome to call the Pahrump Senior Center at 775-727-5008.
Okay.
And that is a donation basis. So if they can't afford to pay, whatever they can afford to pay, they can just, opt to use the Senior Center bus.
So seniors using the Senior Center bus is donation only, so they don't really have to pay unless they can't afford to pay.
Yeah.
But when they ride the public transportation, then it is a fare-based.
Yes, it is a fare-based, just like it would be in any rural town, or like, say, for instance, Las Vegas.
Okay.
You have to pay.
Well, what do you do for veterans? And of course I have to, because we have a lot of veterans in our audience that are going to be watching this. Is there anything special you do for veterans?
Veterans is also a reduced fare. It'll be $2 per trip.
$2 and
we also offer Las Vegas transportation 5 days a week.
Oh, let's hold off on that for just a second.
Okay.
For veterans and students, it's $2. And you said student ID. What about veterans? What do they have to show?
Yes, we need to see a veteran's ID, a valid form of, I guess, how would you say it?
Oh, a veteran ID card or something? Okay, that'll work. And I know each veteran is going to have something, so that'll work. Okay, now trips to Las Vegas. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we do offer trips to Las Vegas for medical. Since the pandemic began, it's only limited to medical appointments for right now.
Okay.
And that is $25 round trip. And we do need one week notice, preferably more if you can, because we do book up on those Las Vegas appointments really quick.
And again, you pick them up at their homes.
Yes, and take them straight to their destination.
And
then
what's the
back.
fare again? Round trip?
$25 for the round trip.
$25? You can't beat that.
No.
Oh, gee, that's fantastic. I may take you up on that one day. That's
That'd
great.
be a pleasure.
That is good to hear. Transportation not only Las Vegas, but we have transportation around Pahrump. You said there's no mileage limitation as far as going around Pahrump.
No.
You'll pick them up at their home, and it doesn't matter where they want to go, you'll take them there.
Yes. No, we take them to casinos, we'll take them shopping, to the grocery store, medical appointments, anything. Hair, nail appointments.
So there's no excuse for anybody now that wants to go anywhere. They have public transportation that's available, and it's very costly. You know, when you look at what they're charging, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But they do need to call you in advance.
Yes.
And again, what number would they call?
775-751-6860.
Okay.
And our offices are open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. to receive all phone calls. Our offices are currently closed to the public due to the pandemic, but we can schedule an appointment if you'd like to come in.
Okay, but most of the people, instead of coming into your office, they're calling you anyway. Is that correct?
Yes, but
Okay.
I mean, as far as job applicants, things of that nature, you can always call and we can schedule an appointment to see you.
Oh, great.
Okay.
When you say job applicant, are you looking for drivers or?
Yes, we're always looking for drivers. You must have a valid Nevada driver's license. You must be able to pass a pre-screen, drug test, which includes marijuana, even though it's legal. That is not allowed in our program.
Okay.
And also a national background criminal and sex offender. So you must be able to pass all those criteria.
Okay. Any age limit or anything like that?
20. We prefer 25 and above.
Okay. So jobs available, transportation is available, and Eric Whelan is the supervisor of transportation, and he's there to make sure that we keep all of this going and improve as we go along. Now, in our next session, we're going to be talking to Michelle. Michelle is the chairwoman of the Transportation Committee, and she has a lot of information because we're going to be talking about COVID and some of the other complications that go with it. But come back and join us. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. And for this session, I have Michelle Carrot. She's the chairwoman of the Transportation Committee. And Michelle is the one who makes everything function. When I say that, she's the one who keeps us in line and makes sure we have all the information we need to let you know what's going on with transportation, public transportation in Pahrump Valley. That's what it's all about. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Michelle and say, welcome, Michelle, to the show.
Thank you, Tom. It's been a real pleasure to be on the committee and work with all the members, especially the staff at Pahrump Valley Public Transportation. Everybody's worked very, very hard to get us where we are today.
And again, with all the work that you've done, you keep the committee together, you keep us informed, you let us know what's happening, and if for some reason we miss a meeting, we still get the minutes and we're brought up to date on what's happening. So we thank you for doing all the work as the chair, and you have a lot of information that you want to share with the public. Now, we had Eric on, and Eric gave the background of how we got started and where we were and what we've come up to. But now we're in the midst of COVID, and things have changed. Tell us about it.
So COVID gave us a great challenge. We were planning on having about 30,000 for our ridership this year, which would have been an increase of about 8,000 riders. But when COVID hit 9 months ago, we ended up having to draw back a little bit, but it ended up that the people of Pahrump needed those rides, and so we ended up expanding our hours, and we are on track now to at least meet our ridership that we had last year of about 22,000 rides. And so we're very happy that we were able to provide the rides that the Pahrump people needed. And so we are making sure, of course, we're following all of the COVID rules and regulations.
Okay.
We're cleaning our buses regularly. They're sanitized, and any time that personal equipment is needed, we're making sure that our drivers and all of our workers have what they need.
This is fantastic. Just to hear what you're saying, you're expanding so that all the riders in Pahrump and surrounding areas that come into Pahrump have an opportunity for this. And your office hours have expanded. I know Eric covered it. What are the office hours again?
Our office hours are from, they're there at 7 o'clock in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So anytime you want to call between that time to set up a ride, we have someone there taking the calls, and you can arrange a ride at that time. Remember that we need to have a little bit of notice, so we're always available, but since it's coming right to your door, picking you up, they need to have a schedule, so we ask that you call ahead. As Eric stated, the Vegas trips, we need at least a week's notice to make sure that we can accommodate everybody. In town, we need at least 24 hours notice, so just call the day before. And I think they even take calls up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so they're there to help anybody that needs a ride. We also are expanding our fleet along with our hours, and so we currently have 5 minivans. We have 4 cutaway buses, and we have 3 new Ford Transits, and 7 of our vehicles have wheelchair accessibility. So even if you need that special vehicle, we can accommodate you, and they'll come to your doorstep, they'll come help you get on, and be able to transport your wheelchair also and drop you off at your location with your wheelchair. So that's helped a lot of our Pahrump folks too.
Now, I know there are some restrictions, and the driver's not allowed to do certain things. What are those things?
They can't actually go in your home and help you. You need to be able to come to the van, but they'll help you into the van,
Okay.
and they'll be glad to help you with the wheelchair or any help you need into the van.
And they don't carry groceries or anything else?
No, you have to be able to have someone bring them in and put them into the van for you and take them out for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they accommodate as much as they possibly can, pulling up as close as they can to your home or area where they're picking you up or dropping you off.
You know, in talking to Eric, and just the fact that you're going to their home and then dropping them off back at their home for the fare that we're talking about, that is so reasonable. And I know that it doesn't cover the entire cost of everything that's going on, probably which is why you need the grants that Eric talked about, as well as funding through the county. How does some of that work?
So funding's always our challenge. We started looking at raising funds before COVID and now have drawn back on that a little bit because we aren't able to get out into the community as much as we wanted to. Every year, though, we apply for the Nevada Department of Transportation grants and show any funding that we receive that's very generous from our county commissioners who have supported us in this. They saw the need and they helped us out through funding. They've purchased vehicles or have given monies towards purchasing vehicles, and that has helped our fleet become newer and more reliable, and it's more accommodating because now we're using some smaller vehicles instead of the large buses that we were using that were not economical. Now we have the smaller vans that can pick up people and transport them just as well as the larger ones can, but now we have more of them. And so we're really excited about having the funding we do, but of course it's always something that's pretty much year to year, and we're always looking for ways that we can partner and receive greater funding and be there for our folks here in Pahrump.
You know, this is fantastic. Just when we talk about transportation, as I was telling Eric, I used to watch people walk up and down 372 or even 160 and carrying grocery bags, and I felt so sorry for them. And I know that many in our community would pick people up just just because they felt sorry for them. And now that we have the public transportation, it is so easy. But like you said, they need to call in advance because you go to their home. And you've got to have a schedule for that. So at least 2 days in advance for local transportation, at least 2 days, more if possible. And if they're going to Las Vegas, at least a week in advance.
Yes. And we're really excited, Tom, to be offering, starting December 14th, rides into Las Vegas that are not medical. They will be on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it's going to be in connection with the Southern Nevada Transit Coalition. We're going to be taking folks, we're going to pick them up at their door.
Okay.
We'll be picking them up between 6:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to take them into Vegas. They can go shopping, and it's just in time for Christmas, of course.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to be picking them up, taking them into Vegas, and the first stop will be the Blue Diamond Crossing Shopping Center. And then the second stop will be there at the South Strip Transportation Terminal. And if people go ahead and take one of the SNT's buses, there's no other charge for them. So the whole trip is just $25. It's there and back for that amount of money.
Okay.
And the only thing, they have to be back where they were dropped off by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it gives them a good, 6 hours almost, 5-6 hours to go shopping. They can go to the casinos. If you want, you can take another vehicle and go elsewhere, and then just make sure you're back in time.
Okay.
And then they'll be bringing them back here to Pahrump. And so it's kind of a day excursion. We're hoping that this will be able to grow. This is just a test case we're doing on Mondays and Wednesdays. We're hoping to add more days.
No.
And then down the road, we're hoping to look at possibly having trips to Laughlin or to Mesquite. And so those will be a little longer days, but it'll give people transportation to those places without having to drive themselves and worry about the roads. And it'll give them opportunities to go and get out and be out and among other people instead of staying here in Pahrump.
This is great. The expansion that you're talking about, where you can expand, and right now if you can go in and you're not going in just for medical appointments, going in for shopping, this is fantastic. And like you said, just in time for the holidays. So we have that, and you said also they can connect with other transportation, and there's no additional charge.
That's correct. And so that's going to be the nicest part, is that they'll be able to go off somewhere else, and they can go see family if they have family there in Vegas. They'll be able to go shopping. They'll be able to go, once COVID is over with, to movies. And so it'll just really, I think, open up getting out and being able to do things at an affordable rate.
This is fantastic. I know the audience that are watching this show tonight, they're so happy to hear about this. This is just great news for our entire community. And I'm so glad to have Eric on and have you on to talk about exactly what's happening in transportation. Now, what about the committee that you supervise? Who are they?
It's a wonderfully diverse committee, Tom. We have the staff from Pahrump Valley Public Transportation. We have community volunteers. We have people from the VA Transportation Committee. When we first started this, we even had our taxi cab service here in town, representatives from their organization. We have a county commissioner representative there. We have just community members who come that may need special needs, sight impaired or hearing impaired. We have those folks. We have we have DAV folks on. So we just have a wide variety. So when we talk about issues, we have perspectives from all those different areas.
That's so good to hear. And I know anybody that might be interested in providing any information about transportation, they can contact you or Eric and say, look, I'm interested in volunteering and maybe joining your committee.
We'd love all the volunteers. 775-751-6860 and get us your name, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thank you, and we're glad to have you with us. See us again next month. Welcome back once again. We are with our new guests, and we're talking about Great Basin College. And we have the director for the Pahrump Valley Center, and this is Diane Reitman. Now, she's been on the show before, but before COVID, and we've talked about all the things that are going on at Great Basin College. But there's so many new people in our community that don't know everything about Great Basin College. And the first thing I want to mention, even before I introduce Diane, is the fact that Great Basin College do offer associate degrees, but they also offer bachelor degrees. Now, Diane is going to get into that more, but this is a 4-year college. So, and we're right here in the community. So that's what it's all about. So, Diane, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be back, and thank you for inviting me back. It's great to be here.
You provide so much information every time you come on the show, and we get comments from our viewing audience, and they're always saying, you know, what about this or what about that? Well, we want to make sure that they get all the answers that they need, and they can contact the college directly. If they have questions about Great Basin College, what number should they call?
Absolutely. So they should call us at 775-727-2000. We're located over on Calvada, right in front of the high school. And so you'll see a big green wall. It says Great Basin College, and we're just that one building there. And you can come there as well, visit us at the center, take a tour if you'd like, give us a call. For the next couple months, we're just appointment only. So if you want to come and have an advising appointment, or if you want to learn more about the college, just give us a call, make an appointment, and then come see us. And I'd be more than happy to give you a tour of our facilities.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who would like a tour and to learn more about what's going on at Great Basin College. We have, when you talk about Great Basin College, we're talking about people that are advancing their education. And many people still think about Great Basin College, and that's why I wanted to mention that. They think about it only as a 2-year institution. But you have so many bachelor's degrees. So tell us something about what you have as far as 2 or associate degrees.
Right.
And then we can talk maybe this session or next session about what you're going to do for bachelor degrees.
So, I mean, we have a number of bachelor programs. You can receive a bachelor's in education in secondary or elementary, be a teacher in our community. We're always looking for teachers. They're a high demand occupation. We have a social work program where you can get a bachelor's in social work, or you can receive a bachelor's in our human services program, so counseling, drug, alcohol, gambling addictions. We have a bachelor's degree if you want to travel to Elko in instrumentation. And then we do also
What was that last one again?
Instrumentation technologies. So if you want to travel to Elko, that's where that program would take place, because there's lots of hands-on that needs to happen for that program. We also, if you're in the business area and you want to do something with business, we do have a management and supervision program. That program is completely online, and we also have a digital information technology if you're interested in computers. And we do have a couple more if you visit us on the web, www.gbcnv, so Great Basin College Nevada.edu. You can find a list of all of our bachelor programs. And then, like I said, we have a number of associate degree programs in criminal justice, in radiology, nursing. If you want to get a nursing program, we have a machine manufacturing. That's our CTE, college and career technical classes that we have down here as well that you can participate in. So
give that website again.
Sure. It's www.gbcnv.edu. And you can request more information about our programs, or you can find our phone number there. You can email me, whatever you want to do. There's always, that's where you're going to find all your information about Great Basin College.
Now, since this is the Pahrump Center, What about the other branches of Great Basin College? When you go to that website, do you only get the Pahrump Center, or you get all of Great Basin?
So we're Great Basin College. We're one college here in the state of Nevada. We educate our rural communities. We do have locations in Winnemucca. We have one in Ely. We have one in Battle Mountain. And then our main campus is located in Elko. So we are the furthest away from our main campus. But we feel that, when we're part of this rural community, we're helping sustain these communities by being able to offer these classes to our communities. So we also have locations. I have a small little satellite center in Tonopah as well, over at Tonopah High School. We have a room over there where we offer classes as well for students who may want to take some classes in those communities and try and get a degree from those locations. So.
This is just fantastic. Every time I have you on the show, I learn more and more about what Great Basin College is doing in our communities and how they're benefiting all of our people. This is just so important. And I know that you're going to be receiving a lot of calls after this program.
I hope so. I mean, we're recruiting right now for the spring semester. Spring semester starts January 25th. And so it's not too late to go ahead and apply for admissions off the website. It's not too late to give me a call, ask for some more information. You can also visit financial aid website. So there is a website for students who may be not able to, they think they might not be able to afford college, or, what's nice about being a college, but also being like this community college, is that our classes are very affordable. So you're not going to be spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, but you're going to be spending the amount of money that you need in order to get these degrees, so that way you can go and find a job. And there is financial aid available. We have a ton of scholarships available for students, so it's just a matter of, I always tell students, you never know. Go fill out the application, fill out the FAFSA. It's called the FAFSA. Free, don't even ask me what the acronym is. It's a free application for federal student aid is what it is. So there you go, I know it. But just go ahead and fill that out. And then we can see how much money you might qualify for. And if you don't qualify for that much, we have payment plans. We can start slow. So there are lots of opportunities to attend college, and college is always within anybody's reach, I think, especially if you start at Great Basin, and let's say you do want to go to a 4-year, at least you're going to get those first couple years out of the way. I always tell the high school students who take classes with us, go ahead and get as many classes as you can out of the way, because they're cheaper right now. Our high school students here in our community, they can take classes from us. Tuition is half off. Right now, the school district is actually helping to pay for students' tuition, so that way they can take classes for free. I mean, you're taking a college class, typically a $300 class, $350 class, and you get to take it for free. So, and you get college credit, and it transfers to any of our 4-year institutions or to any accredited college outside of the state of Nevada as well.
I want to repeat some of that.
Okay. I talk really fast.
That's
so.
okay. That's okay. But I mean, the main points that I wanted to bring out on that is the fact you're taking college level courses. You're taking them at Great Basin College. The cost is less than if you go to, say, some of the larger institutions, and they're transferable to the larger institutions if you want to transfer the credits.
Correct. Yep.
It is so important that they understand that everything you do at Great Basin College, it is college level, and you're earning credit that can be used anywhere in the United States for that matter.
Yep. Exactly. We're accredited. We're part of the Nevada system of higher education. So that cohort of schools includes UNLV, UNR, Truckee Meadows Community College, Western Nevada, DRI, which is the Desert Research Institute, Nevada State College, and the College of Southern Nevada. So we're all part of that same system here in the state of Nevada. Obviously, we want to keep our students here in Nevada taking classes, whether they start here at GBC and then transfer to UNLV or UNR to finish a bachelor's, and maybe something that we don't offer here, like engineering or I just like the engineering. Engineering seems to be popular, or psychology if they want to go get a psychology degree. UNLV and UNR are great opportunities for those students, and even Nevada State College. Sometimes we forget about our state college. So Nevada State College is also a great opportunity for students to get that four-year degree as well. Obviously, I want you to stay here at GBC and get your bachelor's, but, you know, I'm all about supporting our state and supporting, you know, all of our colleges, so.
That is fantastic. You know, something I failed to do when we first started brought you on is I didn't say a whole lot about you other than your name and the fact that you're the director for Great Basin College, the Pahrump Valley Center. For somebody so young, and I
don't know if I'm that young.
For somebody so young, being a director of a college, and that's what you're doing, how did you happen to get into that position?
So I was working at the College of Southern Nevada. I was doing retention and some advising over there, and a position opened up here, a manager position at the Pahrump Valley Center. So I went ahead and applied, and I got the position. So I've been here. I just celebrated last week my 11th year here at GBC and here in Pahrump.
Great.
So I'm very happy that I'm here. Every day something is new and something is exciting, and I get to meet new students and new community members and just new people every single day, and learn their stories and learn their goals and ambitions of what they want to do and what they want to be. And I listen to their stories, and I try to figure out a pathway for them to be successful. And like I said, I always want them to reach their goals, and I always want them to be the best version of themselves. So when I have those conversations with those students, I'm like, what is your passion? What do you want to do? And then we'll put together a plan, and we'll say, these are the classes that you're going to have to take, and this is, you know, this is what you're going to have to do in order to reach that goal. And so I usually have a lot of nursing students that come in, and they're ambitious, and they're like, I want to do all this, I'm going to be a nursing student. And I'm like, well, there's so many other things you got to do to get to that point, but, you know, I'm there to support them 100%. So, but yeah, I've been here for a while now, and like I said, a lot of things have changed since I've been here. We started off with like maybe 2 staff members, and now we have over 20, and yeah, it's great. Well,
we're just fortunate to have you here. From the time you arrived, it's just been a completely different growth, and you've been growing along with it, and we're just so glad to have you here. With the things that have been going on with Great Basin College, and when you hear about the students and the graduations and the things that people are doing even after graduation, I think is just so important. Now, we're running out of time for this session, but we have so much more that we're going to be covering during the next session. So I want you to be sure that you're ready to take down notes and be in touch with Diane and find out more about Great Basin College. Come back and join us. Welcome back to the show. This is our final session, and I'm here with Diane Reitman. She's the director for Great Basin College, Pahrump Valley Center, and there is so much information that we have still yet to cover. So I'm going to ask Diane. Diane, tell us more about what Great Basin College can do for us.
So I was going to start with the high school students, and anybody that's out there, whether you're a high school student or a high school parent or a guardian of a high school student, I encourage you, especially if they are juniors or seniors, I encourage you to encourage your student to take one class from Great Basin College. Last year we were able to receive a college and career readiness grant, and with COVID-19 and with the budget cuts in the state, we lost the funding for that. The Nye County School District has been remarkable in finding the grant funds to be able to fund their students here in Nye County, and that has made the opportunity for students to continue their college education while they're here. And so our high school students are taking classes here. Some of those credits do count back at the high school. So that way when they graduate at the end of May, that way when they get ready to graduate, they can at the end of May. We have 2 different pathways for our students. We have a certificate of completion in high schools or in college readiness for high school students. So once you receive 30 credits from GBC, you will get a certificate of completion in college readiness. And then we also have your traditional associate degree programs. We have a amazing machine manufacturing program in a partnership with the Nye County School District, and we have a number of high school students that are going through that program. And I'm really excited that we'll have about I want to say between 10 and 12 graduates. They'll have their Associates of Applied Science and Machine Manufacturing Technologies at the end of May. And so that's really exciting for us that we're able to...
Let me stop you there just for
please.
a second. Are you saying a high school student will graduate with an associate's degree?
Exactly. So we have about 12 of them. Yeah. In our machine manufacturing. Right. I know. It's exciting. So that's in our CTE machine manufacturing. And then we will also have a handful of students from the high school who will be receiving their Associate of Arts and or the Associate of Science degree. And what's great about those degrees is that they're transferable to any of our other colleges here in the state. So if a student wants to go to UNLV or UNR and they already have that Associates of Arts or Science, they're automatically accepted into those colleges with that degree. So, and all those credits will transfer. But yeah, it's great. I mean, our high school students are great. They're, like I said, we have one student she already has her Associate of Arts, right? And she was a junior when she graduated, and she's a senior this year, and she's working on her bachelor's degree in social science right now. So she'll be halfway to her bachelor's degree by the time she graduates from high school. So she got her college degree before she even got her high school diploma.
Now, there are some students also that go ahead and get their bachelor's degree from Great Basin College as well.
Yep, exactly. And like I said, I want to keep my students here. I want them all to get their degrees from here. But, you know, we're a small college, and we don't have the plethora of degrees of, you know, 4-year degrees that students could take. We do have some really great programs here besides our bachelor programs, some certification programs. So you could get certified, get a certificate in machine manufacturing. So we have a great machine manufacturing program open to the community. We just received some grant funds from Haas, which makes a lot of the machining equipment that we use, the CNC, the computer numeric controls, machines. I'm not very well with the machines, but that's what we use. But they gave us a grant, so we have scholarships available for community members who might want to participate in our machine manufacturing programs. Just call our college and ask for some more information on that. We also have a program. Keep going. Oh, do you have more questions? We also have a nursing program, so anybody out there who wants to be an RN, wants to be a nurse, you know, our rural communities are always in need of nurses. And we have one of the #1 programs here in the state of Nevada. We have a great program. We accept a number of students every single year. You do have to have a couple of, you know, there's about 11 prerequisite classes like biology and English and math that you have to complete before you can apply to that program. But those of you who might not want to take science and biology, but you do like working in the healthcare field, we do have a certified nursing assistant program. It's called a CNA program. It's typically 10 weeks. So if you want to become a certified nursing assistant, you just have to receive or go and get a basic life support CPR card for the American Heart Association, get a 2-step TB test, and do a background and drug test. And once you do all of those things, we can sign you up for our CNA class. And what that will do is at the end of those 10 weeks, we do a test. You get tested by the state of Nevada. You become certified as a CNA, and you can go work in the hospital or go work at any of the rehab facilities here. This town is in need of CNAs, so if you're interested, definitely give us a call. We'll be more than happy to give you more information on that particular program.
How about giving us the phone number one more time?
Yeah, it is 775-727-2000. So you can give us a call, and anybody in our office will be able to either answer your questions or point you in the right direction of whom you need to speak with.
You know, as you were talking about some of the programs, the CNA program and some of the others, talking about it in the health areas and on and on. And if somebody calls that number and say, look, I'm interested in this program or that program, and they're going to be sent to talk to the right person that can advise them on that.
Right. Usually it's me.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll get Brian Grudinsky. He's the other advisor in our office. And then Elizabeth Drea. She's going to kill me if I said her last name wrong. But anyway, Elizabeth, she works a lot with our high school students, and
Okay.
she's also works with our Gear Up program. So they're all great resources. We're all very knowledgeable in knowing what you'll need to know as a student coming to GBC. We also have another program. It's a brand new program. We've only been 2 years into it, but I don't think I was able to talk about it last time I was here. But we do have a radiology program, so you can become a rad tech here in the state for the state of Nevada, or anywhere actually. But that's a radiology program. You can do the whole program here in Pahrump. Again, it's kind of like the nursing program. There's a couple prerequisite classes that you have to take before you can actually officially apply to the program. But you're not taking as many classes as if you were going for like a 2-year degree in something else.
Okay.
So you're going to get you have to take about 8 classes, and then you can apply to the radiology program. And like I said, it's new for us here in Pahrump. So I encourage anybody that might be interested in radiology to, ask more information from us, get some more information, and we'll be able to give that to you.
You know, when you mentioned earlier about the cost, and a lot of people are looking at the cost of college anywhere, and if they can get more bang for the bucks here at Great Basin College, that's where they should be. But the only way they're going to know about it is by watching programs like this and contacting you and asking questions. So I'm encouraging everyone, if you know somebody that you think should be taking college classes, college courses, have them call Great Basin College, see if it's offered there, any of their interests. And Diane has already mentioned some of our high school students that are graduating from high school with associate degrees. That's a fantastic innovation right there. So let me turn it back to Diane. Diane, tell us more about Great Basin College.
Yeah, I mean, those high school students are saving so much money just by taking a couple high school classes. Like I said, our classes in general are running about, I want to say like $350 to $400 for a 3-credit class. So most of our classes are typically 3 credits. We have a couple 4-credit classes,
Okay.
but that's usually the ballpark. And like I said, you can split that up, or however there's tons of funding out there. There's tons of scholarships. We don't get enough students applying for scholarships, or because they don't want to take the time to write a statement, or they won't want to take the time to search. But there's so many, like I cannot even explain how much there is. But we are actually gearing up for spring, like I said earlier. So if you are interested, you want to get more information, again, visit our website, request more information, call the center. We can give you more information over the phone. Signing up is really easy. So all you have to do is go to the website, click Apply Now, and apply to GBC. And then make an appointment to come see us, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate you and answer any questions that you may have. But we're excited about where we're going. COVID has thrown us a little bit of a curveball, so a lot of our classes right now are going to be online. But you're more than welcome to use our computer lab for those classes if you don't have your own computer. Like I said, we're just having students make appointments to come into the building to use the facility. But like I said, a lot of our classes for the spring semester will still be online. Hopefully we'll go back to a lot of live classes come fall semester, so next fall. So we're getting excited. We're gearing up. I mean, like I said, it's an adjustment, and so the only classes we have live right now are our nursing classes, because they have to do their simulations, and it's you have to have that. They have to have that hands-on. And then we have some biology classes where they have to do those labs live. You can't do those labs online. You have to be able to physically see what's going on. So we do have a couple of programs or a couple of classes that are live, but like I said, most of them, hopefully you're tech savvy. Even if you're not tech savvy, we're pretty good tutors there at the college. We can show you the way. We do also have like some intro computer classes, so if you're interested in that. We also have our community education classes. I didn't get to talk about that. Oh my goodness, I should have been able to. I totally forgot, but next time I come on, we'll talk about community education. If you go to our website and click on community education courses, we have a bunch of small certificates that students can sign up for. There's a special right now going on a bunch of different programs that are about $100. So if you visit our Facebook page, just search Great Basin College on Facebook, you'll find our page. There will be a bunch of information on community education. You can do like veterinary assistant or QuickBooks or quick little classes that you can take. So, but yeah.
There is a lot about Great Basin College.
There's so much.
I'm going to ask one more time. Repeat the phone number because I know somebody's going to call and say, look, I want to know more about this or that or whatever.
Right. So you can visit us online at gbcnv.edu, or you can call us at 775-727-2000, or you can email us. So if you go on our website, just click on locations and click on Pahrump, and you'll find all the contact information on how to get a hold of us in Pahrump as well. So I look forward to seeing many of you and having our phone ring more. We're open all through break, so just give us a call. Somebody will answer or leave a message, and somebody will get back to you.
You can tell how excited Diana is. And I'm excited every time she comes on because I learned so much more about Great Basin College. I'm going to ask you to come back and join us again next month.